All right, let's go over the triads. So we draw that line down that equal sign. Or, well, I mean, you can draw it first. You could have also distributed first. It's okay. So -4 times n is -4n. -4 times -10 is positive 40. It's going to be less than 32. So now I'm adding 40. I got to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 40 from both sides. That gives me -8. Then I am going to divide by -4 on both sides because I was multiplying by -4. I just divided by a negative on both sides, so that means my inequality is going to have to flip. So these cancel, and I have n. My inequality is going to go the opposite direction, so now it's a greater than sign, and -8 divided by -4 is positive 2. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I then I'm going to go to 2, and it's an open circle at 2 because it's just a greater than sign. It's not equal to it. And everything greater than 2, so I'm going to the right with my arrow. On your guys' graphs, if you do have to graph them, try to have at least 3 numbers on the graph. Don't just put the one number. Please try to add at least a number on each side of that circle for us. All right, so let's distribute that half, that 0.5, that's the same thing as half. So it's saying half of 8, so 0.5 times 8 is 4. 0.5 times y is just going to be 0.5y. Keep my symbol and everything on the other side of that inequality. Draw my line. I have a positive 4, so I have to do the opposite to get it to 0. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. 4 minus 4 cancels, and I'm left with just my positive 0.5y. And then -3 minus 4 is -7. So now I have to divide by 0.5 on both sides. It's a positive 0.5. So I do not need to flip my inequality. So y is all that's left over here because those cancel. And then half of -7, you are more than welcome to use a calculator. But -7 divided by 0.5 is -14. So -14 is less than or equal to y. So I'm going to put my numbers on here. It's going to be a closed circle at -14, and it says that -14 is less than or equal to y, which means that y has to be everything above it. And the reason that this arrow goes the opposite direction of our inequality is because our y is on the right. Typically, we like to write it with our y on the left, so if we rewrote it with the y on the left, the open side of that inequality is facing the y, and then we have our -14. So these two are the exact same. This is just a better way to write it, so that way it shows us that we need every number above -14.